My friend, Halloween Nation, good evening or good afternoon, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. That is awesome, my friend. I really, really appreciate that support. I really do. Whoops, my bad. Let me turn that back on. But I appreciate the support. I got a few things I want to talk about. I was cut off a little bit earlier. I did a live this morning, but I was a little busy, so I wanted to come back on. I don't know how long I'm going to be on for this particular live. I was considering just doing an update, but I like to talk to everybody in a more personable way, if at all possible. And right now it's a Saturday. I've got some time, and then I look at it this way: even if there's not a lot of people here during the second live, then they get to see it as an update style, as I intended anyhow. Jennifer Kupiak, welcome back. Yes, indeed, I'm here for a second time on a Saturday. I got my grass cutting and some stuff I needed to get done, and I ordered some cannabis seeds. That's what took me a little bit longer to get on. I ordered a few cannabis seeds because I created the greenhouse I built yesterday to keep my friend away, my groundhog friend away. But I ended up ordering some White Widow. I ordered some Northern Lights, Pink Mist, Royal AK, Purple Queen, OG Kush, Royal AK. So I did some of the classics, but I also did some of the pretty ones as well that are a little more difficult. Like the Pink Queen is going to be an interesting one to grow outside. But I'm up for a challenge. But some of the ones that I desire, but they never have, or they're never good when people grow them. So anyhow, a lot to discuss. XRP is still holding firm over that $2.40. Ethereum had hit $2,500. It's pulled back a little bit. It is up 5.5% on the day. It's a fantastic follow through on a Saturday, as this is the first weekend in a while we can actually say, hey, we're starting off hot here. Now let's see if we finish as well. But this is a great sign to be starting like this on a Saturday. Is freaking fantastic. We had some pullback a little bit on DGB as its relative strength was a little bit elevated. It needed to have a little bit of a pullback, which it's starting to. So I think this is a good sign for further movements. It pulled back, and it absolutely needed to do this after that. It shot out of a cannon up to that 1.1 cent, but it absolutely needed this little pullback. Now, it could, in fact, come down to like this 1 cent area and retest the final push up here and then layer out. But that's something for sure to be watched. Or it could be building another flag like it did just below, because I could make the argument that it doesn't need to even come down this far to 1 cent, and it can just power through. But that is something I would, I'm interested to see if that's what happens. I mean, the only other thing it could be trying to do here in the daily, I mean, it's shot up so high that I don't think that's what it's doing. 4 hourly could be reversing back for this push, so we'll see. It went up so quick that we had a little bit of we're overbought a little bit. Nothing major at all. Tom, no back test, maybe Monday morning surprise with such a quick large move. That's what we're trying to figure out still with XRP. We never back tested 221. So much like we're seeing with DGB right now, we're either gonna rise up past this level, which would be stay above $2.40 roughly, and then we can start piling up to that 269 on average from where it's at right now. But obviously we look at that pivot point, so I'm gonna put this at 265, even though, because that's that pivot layer. So if we did end up running up to 269 and then maybe back testing 265 would be great. I could see scenarios though where if we did run out unabated, we get around that 265 to 269, then we come back to 252 roughly, if we don't want to come all the way back down. But there's a lot of different opinions that could be had here. We haven't had that back test, and it is Saturday. We'll be going into Sunday now, so we did have a nice run up. But is this now where we're going to end up getting that depreciation that we typically find on the weekends here, at least in the new year? Because I could make an argument that Bitcoin's absolutely looking for that. So if it loses the 20 days, the first thing you need to see in the short time frames in the 2 hourly. Big reason why I wanted to come back. I didn't want to leave everybody hanging on these retests if they come, which I know I talked about it But sometimes when you leave and then you come back after a little bit of a rally's been had, then it starts to make more sense as we start to reverse the tops and things like that. So, just some of the things I was watching from afar. And, you know, I don't see anything that is overtly bad. I just see the normal mentality of a market. After you have a nice shift up, then all of a sudden you start to shift back down. I look at things like XDC. Looks to be more prime for a move right now. So if you missed the boat on a lot, you can absolutely look for a shot here on XDC. Made that bullish Gartley here. Has an inverse head and shoulders set up in the short term. Almost looks perfect. Like it's behind and it looks pretty good. I'm just saying, if you missed the boat on some of the other ones on the move up, there is that, you know, potential here that you could be like up, left shoulder, down to a head, to a right shoulder, making the bullish Gartley. And then it's going to send us up here. It's not like an incredibly big move. But, I mean, if you missed them both and you're like, hey, I'm going to take a shot here because I want to try to make something. Hey, it might cost you money. But you could, in theory, have about a 7.5% rally here in the risk. Because if you were looking at it for the rally, you would just play to the bottom of the bullish Gartley. So you're talking about a 7.5% gain to a 2% loss. So you're looking at about almost 3.75 to 1 risk to reward. So if you were betting on a 7.5% move, and let's just say you put $10,000 in it, you're looking at about $750 move on $10,000 to a $200 risk, to put it in perspective. So, and I don't know how many people are going to be putting 10. I'm just saying, from that perspective, that's the kind of risk you're looking at. You're looking to make $750 on this push up, and you're risking $200 to make that. Because you would only hold it until that bullish Gartley got invalidated, if you're looking at a swing trade. So that's something you could certainly look at. I know HOTCOIN allows XDC. Bitunix doesn't have it still to this day, which is appalling. At least to my knowledge. I haven't looked in a while, but I'm sure if they did, I would have, you know, been ecstatic. So I'm going to just assume that they don't have it. But I can look. Holy shit, when did that happen? Guys, can you guys, unless I'm on the wrong one. Guys, did you see what's on Bitunix? Is anybody here? I don't know. I don't even know if anybody can. Did you see what happens on Bitunix now? I missed it in spot. XDC's in spot on Bitunix now. They just had an update 2 days ago. I did not realize that there was a XD. Hallelujah. Holy hell. I must be fucking dreaming. Excuse me. I don't think I can read anybody's comments, if I'm being honest. I'm going to go to my phone. I'm stunned. I am stunned. I did not know that update had XDC in it. I am stunned. Unbelievable. Huh. That is awesome. Shane, thank you so much for the $10 donation and also being in Tom's Army for 3 years plus with the Diamond Hands badge. You're approaching that 4-year badge that is now available. Incredible. Tom, it's been a while, but I'm back. But you stayed in Tom's Army. That is the most dedicated you could possibly be. That is awesome. I did not... Wow. You know what? I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy some. I'm going to test it out real quick. XDC, buy... And I don't care, you know, I like XDC, so I'm going to buy 12,222 tokens right now during the live to test this out. I'm not even joking. I'm going to do it right now. $12,222. What do I want? I want XDC, 12,222. It says I can do a limit around 7755, it looks like. So let's see if it goes through. 7755. We'll give it a little grace. There's somebody selling it for 7.7. 7.7. Ooh. I can't believe it's on here. I'm like almost dumbfounded. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm like, I feel dumbfounded. Oh, it went right through. I'll be damned. Yeah, so I bought 12,222 tokens for about 946 bucks. That was unbelievably quick. Good. And you see, that's what I mean, the fee. I didn't barely pay shit. That's unbelievable. I'm so glad they have XDC. I am so glad. Wow. I can't believe I didn't notice that. So if you need another reason to use Bitunix, and I'll show you the link as I go through the intro. Good mid-afternoon. 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, May 10th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. In a rather startling realization, Bitunix now has in the USA XDC and spot. I am flabbergasted. In one of the last several updates, they've added it. So if you don't have Bitunix by now, you get it. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees. They've saved me a freaking fortune on swing trading, on leverage, and also buying assets. And I like to send them to crypto.com just because I'm registered and validated there and I have a crypto debit card. And then I send it back to Bitunix to sell them. Well, I'm going to keep XDC on here because I don't think it's on crypto.com to buy. So this is a startling revelation. So I would definitely take advantage of Bitunix. And right now, it's back in the Google Play Store as well. So you can click on the app and you can download it through the Google Play Store if you have an Android now instead of going through the hoops. So I would definitely take a look at XDC right now, as it looks like it's in an inverse head and shoulders. It looks like it's on a bullish Gartley. And if it doesn't break out, I'm going to buy it down. Because I have such a small amount. I have $900 and something. You know, for what I want, for the price it's at, there's got to be at least 50, 60,000 of them in my pocket. But I'm just saying, like, if there's some you've missed, we had XDC for a long time. We rode it way up. And that's a massive inverse head and shoulders in the longer scale as well. So, like, in the future, if you're looking for an opportunity, this is one that I would pay attention to, you know, going forward. So, severely undervalued. I know some of you were with us when we were actually holding it for some time. Made a hell of a rally. And then it topped out. There's nothing we can say about it. It topped out all the way up here, rotated back down and cut off 50%. So now it's in reset territory. It's back down to the bottom of the pattern for the most part. And that's an unbelievable, startling revelation. Like, I cannot believe that they had it on Bitunix and I got to buy some. Wow. That is unfucking believable. And the only reason I didn't even have it is because I didn't want to go back to Uphold and some of these stupid exchanges that are ripoffs. And wow, I'm honestly fucking startled right now that they have it, because I just went to check for no reason, because every time I've looked, they never have it. And I've been begging them to do it, and they never even sent me a message to say they did it. That's awesome. Unbelievable. That literally just changed the game. That changed my game just now. And honestly, I kind of hope it drops like 50% now that I can buy it. Some would be like, well, then when you lose $400, that's fine. I'll take a $400 loss to buy $4,000 more at a price in half. Oh, you better believe I just said that, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I would love it. Look for a retest maybe. I just had to see if it would work. I'm just beyond happy now. XRP at $2.41. I mean, we're trying to test this breakout area as support. We haven't had a big bounce above, so it's going to be hard to hold these levels as is without any major retest. But right now it could be said that we're trying to see the first test. This is the first test in a micro level to see if we're strong enough to stay above. If we're not, that's when you're going to see this big drop. And then it's possible we just come right back down here and retest and move out. It did create a little bit of a rising wedge style pattern. If you don't know what that is, it's a bearish consolidation in my opinion. And I don't want to piss anybody off, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, I think you guys would rather hear the truth at this point than be kicked in the nuts. Right? So, at least that's the way I see it. So, I mean, we got to break out of this. Otherwise, it's nothing major. It's just a little bit of a rising wedge. What's wrong with that? Sometimes you get a little bit of a rising wedge when you get a little bit of price appreciation towards the end, and you're not strong enough. So, and it doesn't even mean it has to come all the way back down to 221. It just means we'll measure the wedge. You see I made it short on both sides for the overlap. That's it. Breaks down there. Be about 229. And isn't that appropriate? Because what was the big pivot layer over here? $2.29. And then we had the minor level that we had to take care of in that micro move in the minimum part of the pattern. That kind of makes sense there. I feel like that makes sense. I really do. That seems like the appropriate spot for a back. Julie, Bitunix has XDC now. I've been asking them to add XDC for a year and a half, and they never did. I know. Somebody said good things come to those who wait. So what is my revelation today? XDC is on. That's awesome. XDC is on there. Yeah, there's 148 people watching with 45 likes. I know some people are saying to give some likes because that's not a very appropriate ratio, but I think so. It's fine. Oh, USDT and USDC, are you talking about their dominance, or are you talking about their actual pricing, like the one-to-one peg to the dollar? I know USDT was falling, and that's because less people are buying the stablecoin right now. So less money that's held in USDT dominance, which is people holding their money in stablecoins over in the tokens. You want to see a drop in USDT and USDC as far as dominance goes, because all that's telling you is a correlation that more people are buying crypto than holding it in a store of value in the stable coins. That's interesting. That is interesting. Ooh, yeah, cannabis. It might. It definitely might. It definitely might hold that. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about here? Because you guys know I was already on for like 47 minutes earlier. But I wanted to just quick touch up here. Like how we went over XRP. Just the levels, like how it could come down to 229. We looked at DGB, the levels it could come down to. We talked about the little bit of a rising wedge that formed. And I don't think that's particular to just the XRP. I think most of the market probably came up in a rising wedge formation. Some of them started breaking out, though, which is good news. But then, I mean, you could look at it the same way here, like 1, 2. And this isn't bad. Like, don't make a mistake about this. This just means, in my opinion, when you form like something like this, like these rising, this almost looks like a rising triangle, but let's just call it a rising wedge for the hell of it. It just means that it's appreciated a little fast. And in this case, I think all this would mean for algo, and I think we're gonna have a little bit of a bloody Saturday into Sunday, but that would just mean it comes here and it back tests the breakout. Big opportunity there to try to swing out. It's all it means. Some people will get thrown off, and it could even micromanage. It could stop here. Some would say at the testicles. So whether that's testicular fortitude or not, we won't know. But kind of at the cherries. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a sunny day here in the Texas Panhandle. Hint, hint. Interesting. Megaphone, I mean, I could see the megaphone, but it has to widen out a little bit on some of these. Some of these just broke out into like these micro levels broke into like these weird. But it's what you would expect in a very fast-paced move. Like, look at Bitcoin dominance drop by like from 65 to 63 here. So it hopefully topped out now. If that's the case, we're going into alt season soon. But remember, got to have a back test. So at some point, this is going to kick us in the nuts, and it's probably going to retest right there. So maybe that's when the crypto drops, and then if it's meant to go down, it just does that. But this is a very long time coming in a bearish pennant. It just happened to have an overzealous breakout. Fortunately, it didn't go up to that 72. That's what I was fearing. I'm very hopeful it didn't go up there, because then that takes time. But that's the bearish pennant, and I think over time, we're going to find an 8.5% market dominance by Bitcoin. And I don't care what they're telling us. I think it's about to go to shit. I don't think there's any way it gets back up to 96% again. But that's where it would go if we broke bullish. So, and then there's obviously that resistance over the top where you could theoretically come to that 72 percentile. But this is something we need to have the rejection. We need it to be rejected. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If 96% of money is going to Bitcoin, that means only 3.78% of all money in crypto goes to every other token besides Bitcoin. And you know a rather large majority is going to go to fucking Ethereum until they do away with it. If they do away with it. There sure is, it's all an illusion. I absolutely agree with that. Edgar, thank you. It's an illusion. Thanks for being in town for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor along with the Fine Group. And we'll go to XRP Healthcare after this one. But it's all an illusion. Said there's also been a lot of sideways and even ascending consolidation. I think that's what we were seeing. I said rising triangle, or rising wedge, but technically they're just those short-term moves. I mean, if we're looking at it realistically, they could just be ascending formations, right? Like an ascending triangle, somewhat, if we wanted to call it that as well. But you're right. There's a lot of ascending patterns happening here. Well, that's on the 1 minute. Probably be easier to see it like this. But yeah, there's a lot of ascending movement. Like that could be classified as an ascending, I mean, you could call it an ascending triangle, ascending, you can't say a channel because it does look like it's more like consolidating a little bit within. But we'll see if it breaks down that. We know the routine. We know the logical sense there. XRP Healthcare is retracing today. It did have a nice move yesterday. But look at that 15-minute. When you talk about retracements, this is what we talk about. Like it came up to resistance, dicked around a little bit, and now look at this sudden drop. It dropped 22% just to pull right back up, and now it's up from that drop. And you're talking about a matter of, what, 2 hours? This is where you get killed as a swing trader or a leverage trader. If somebody was leveraged here in the hourly, that's pretty spectacular. That almost moved into like a bull flag setup now. Look at that. That gives us some serious hope there. That had that little bit of a rising channel set up, and it completely reversed. Now it's got to get over. Now it has to get over without failure. Otherwise, this would be brutally bad for the short term. Because then it would just tell us that it may not have enough strength and has to come all the way back down and then make another attempt. Eventually, though, this is going to power out, and that's a huge holder. Look at that. That is fucking massive. Holy hell. That's something dreams are made of. If you're looking for a continued move up, that's what you want to see, assuming it holds. That is the kind of quick dump you like to see, because then it does the 20% down, 20% back up, and then some in less than 2 4-hour candles. That's what dreams are made of right there. That is what dreams are made of. That throws me off, because why is Trump saying that they're going to start a Bitcoin? No, I'm not laughing at you. Why is Trump saying they're going to do a Bitcoin reserve? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Exit liquidity for the U.S. government and everybody who holds Bitcoin by virtue of seizures and acquisitions. The federal government's going to sell it on all the unexpected lapse. I'm telling you, I firmly believe that's what's happening. It's the biggest Ponzi scheme in history, and the government knows how to play. If the government really was going to do something to make you rich, do you think they would say, hey, Joe, Bill, Donovan, Clyde, Samantha, Jessica, Julie, Tanya, would they say, Tom, XRP Future Millionaire, you buy Bitcoin because we're going to make it the Bitcoin reserve and we're all going to be rich together? Or do you think they would say, hey, Tom, Michelle, Michael, Janice, buy Bitcoin because we need some exit liquidity so we can sell? I'm going to go get another bottle of water, but you can decide that answer. Like I said, would the government want you to buy the real store of value gold and silver? Or would they want you to buy a fake store of value so you don't have real money? I mean, I'm just saying, we can keep rising Bitcoin as much as we want, which is great. But it's not anything special. Bitcoin is the biggest pile of shit crypto there is known to man outside of a meme token. And it really has no value. It's the most expensive for me to send from me to you. It takes freaking so long that it feels like I'm in the Stone Age with dial-up internet. Like, the equivalent of Bitcoin to like an XRP or some of these other tokens that are fast as fuck, like XRP Healthcare is like... XRP Healthcare moves faster than XRP. It's pretty insane if you've ever sent it. Personal experience speaking. But sending Bitcoin is like me today... Instead of having Wi-Fi, plugging in a dial-up internet. Like, we're not going back there. So why are we going to act like Bitcoin's anything special? It's slow as fuck. It's expensive as fuck. And it's version 1.0 of the new age of crypto. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. That'd be like me sending you a TV that's a fucking plasma when we have the TVs of today with 4K, 8K, and above. Are you really going to watch a plasma TV in the age of TVs we have now? I don't think so. You know, we're going back to the box. It doesn't make any sense. That'd be like using a VCR instead of a DVD player back in the day. You know, or a Blu-ray player. Oh yeah, give me the VHS because it looks better than a... That's all it is. That's all they're telling you. Invest in analog instead of digital right now. You'd go to the fucking cleaner, ask Blockbuster. They're telling you to invest in Bitcoin rather than gold. Go ahead. Eventually you're going to go to the fucking cleaner. That's what happens. We all have our date with destiny, and the ones holding Bitcoin in the end, their destiny's going to be... The joke's on us. Well, not me, because I don't own Bitcoin. But I'm just saying. Everybody's like, oh, Tom, you could have bought Bitcoin at fucking 29,000. Or you could have bought it at 78,000 and now it's at 103,000. That's good. But remember when Bitcoin was at 58 and 60,000, XRP hadn't done dick. All these other cryptos hadn't done dick. You know, so would you rather be sitting on a 1x right now on Bitcoin? Or would you be sitting on a, no, I don't know, XRP went down to 38 cents in that motion. I mean, let's just do a historical, I'm not just speaking out my ass, but this is what I see all the time. And yeah, Bitcoin's going to go as far as they push Bitcoin. But remember, the higher they push it, the more bottom line dollar they make when they sell it. And Bitcoin's going to go high. I'm not saying it's not. My target isn't even close to being met yet. Out of that cup and hand. Well, it's getting closer, but it's got a long ways to go still. But let's for historical data. Bitcoin in September, 54K. Just remember this. September... You can even go back to, because we need to make sure, all the way from June, July, August, September, it was all the way in the 50 to 60,000 range, right? So you've 1x'd right now. Congratulations. Congratulations, you've 1x'd. You've 1x'd. Nothing to be, there's nothing to be mad about. That's not what this is about. But my point is, remember that time in July? XRP was at 38 fucking cents, okay? So instead of the puny 1x on Bitcoin, which is God's grace, God's gift to everybody, pile of crap. You could be sitting on XRP, which everybody calls a pile of shit, and they say, oh, why would you have bought XRP at that time? Would you rather have 1x or 5x? I mean, to me, that's the honest question. You could have bought it and looked like a hero at 50K, but you'd be up 1x. At the same time, there's a shitload of tokens, and this isn't even from 38 cents. This is just the average in that 40 cent range, almost 40 and a half. And that's 504. So you can make the decision. You can make the decision. Would you rather have XRP or would you rather have Bitcoin? Would you have rather had XRP at 40 cents or Bitcoin at 50,000? That was the question. And I thought anybody who chose Bitcoin instead of XRP was dumb. From a logical standpoint, you might not be dumb in your real life, but I just didn't think that was a smart decision, especially when the US government holds the key to all of those tokens. All of them, for the majority. And then the ones they don't own, a large majority is held by Michael Saylor and those schlubs at MicroStrategy. And then another portion's held by X and Y and Z. X, Y, Z, I don't, like, no. No, thank you. And, like, let me ask you another question. Would you rather at DGB at 005, or would you rather have Bitcoin right now at the same 1x move? Or, well, it's a 2x move for X or DGB from that same time frame. But I'm just saying, to me, there's so much potential elsewhere. I just don't see it in Bitcoin. I never have. I can't buy lesser technology and say, oh, this is the hero's key. No, I think that's the joke. Yes, you can download the Bitunix app. Now, if you just click on that link, it'll bring you right to the app now, I believe on Google Play. But Google Play, I use an app. Yes, I never use a website with the exchanges on my tablet. I use the apps. Assuming I can. The Bitunix app looks like, well, I can only show you on my phone right now. But if you are downloading it, here, I'll put my camera on so you can see the front. You get to see my car that just sits here, and it's been sitting for years until I finally sell it to somebody for parts. See this? See the bit? I know you couldn't hear me, but Bitunix was the one on the right. So, on the just above the YouTube Studio one. So that's Bitunix. So yeah, they have it back in the Google Play Store. I think I can just show you. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. I didn't update my app. I think it should still be there. Yeah, right here. You can do the Pro Trade Bitcoin, or you can do the, you can do either one, but I know they upgraded the one. They just put it back on. Wow, people are giving it bad reviews on the bat. 55 people. That's funny. Oh, 500,000 people downloaded that one. I wonder what the difference is. Bitcoin Pro, secure crypto trading with copy trading tools. I'll have to go through both of them. Mine right now is downloaded off the website from back when you had to use when the link wasn't available. But I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I gotta go back and do some family stuff. But I wanted to come back on so that we could touch base, and I think we did. I think we touched base. Oh, my hands. Oh, I wear these for support. I broke a couple years ago. I broke like my hand, like my forearm. Yeah, there was a few breaks. Finger, when I got run off when I was riding the electric bike thing, and a car cut me off. I flew over the front of my handlebars doing like almost 20. You guys remember, some of you were in the audience back in 23. It was on July 4th of 2023. So I wear them for support. I wear them for support because I did the all-natural healing route because, you know, when you're in my kind of field, you don't have medical insurance. So, you know, there are the good and the bad. Not that I would ever go to a doctor anyhow. I never did when I had insurance. For this, I might have just to get cast on and whatnot. But, you know, sometimes you have to trust what you know. And fortunately, everything healed. But I wear it for protection. I like to wear stuff for protection. So that's why I wear it. It actually helps a lot. Yeah, I can show you. You're gonna have to get a rebalancing, a rebalance, Frenchie. Joseph says, "Hey Tom, can you explain what maker taker fees are, and what are your thoughts on using Binance to sell? Thanks." Well, when you sell, so like when you buy and you sell, there's two different fees. So like if you're leverage trading, you get those kind of things. It's just the over-the-top fees that they charge when you're trying to buy and sell. Like I don't like Binance. I just don't like who runs it, so I don't actually use Binance. So I couldn't tell you about the fees to sell. If they're low fees and you can sell and then send it somewhere else, obviously, yeah. But like on Bitunix, when I talk no fees, I mean like I can buy and sell a $10,000 trade and it might be $5-10. Like it's really that low. And it's like if I use that same $10,000 on crypto.com, it's probably going to cost me $400 or $500. If I do it on Uphold, it's going to cost me the same, maybe more. You know, I don't use Uphold anymore, but you get my picture. So, but yeah, I hope that explained too with the hands and stuff like that. I don't know how high Canto can move, to be honest with you. I don't know how high Canto can move. Like, it runs very closely with Ethereum, but it fell so much. I'm not sure how far it can go. A lot of people ask me if I can go to $1. I'm not so sure about $1. I would say let's try to get it back to, you know, that 10-cent area. It's got a long ways to go, though. It's got a long ways to go. But I want to do one thing, because I do have to go. I told Julie I'd come back in. I want to do one thing. I know it's been up and down, left and right. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're a fan of the show, you know what's going on here. Oh, man. And, pretty interesting, some of these things. Quan actually rode right up like we did, and then that was our inverse head and shoulder there at the last second, and then it broke out. It's broken to the top side, so that's what I like to see. So ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days, oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days, oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days, oh, happy days, oh, what a day. Oh, happy days, oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we won't and we may and we will and they say we did and we won't and we will and we can and a moon and a fade and a will and we can and we will and a black moon, blue moon, green moon, full moon, no one knows. Stay true, stay blessed, gematria or the charts. Honestly, I think that's all. I don't know. Does he have an axe? Or is that a... What the hell is that? I've never drawn him quite like that. Is that a saw? Is he cutting down XRP or is he holding something? I don't know. I can never quite tell. He's a weird looking guy today. Hey, quick question. Which mining stocks is the one to... Okay. The mining stocks... I made some very suave swing trading back and forth here. So, but the ones that I trust are on my list. Where you find the right price for you is up to you. But Barrick Gold's being relisted. They changed their name, so that's why it's red. We got to wait until they... But Barrick Gold's the other one. But you can't see it right now because it's not listed. But you can still buy it. But for silver mining, Fortuna, First Majestic, Pan America Silver. For gold mining stocks, you got B2 Gold. You've got Barrick Gold. There's also... Wheaton Precious Metals, you've got, or Wheaton, if you look them up, Kinross, but it's had a major move already. There's New Gold. There's a few other ones. I'm expecting the big moves to happen in Q3 or 4 for mining stocks, even though they are moving up some. They had a nice big breakdown here. Even though the numbers look good, they haven't quite recovered some of the losses on most of them. But still, they're starting to trend in the right direction. They had a good close of the week, and now we need to see how they start. So that's what I'd be looking at there. James Zula, thank you so much for the $2 donation. But yeah, I would look. I'll let you know more on Monday. I'll let you more know when I see the open, you know, on gold, how it opens tomorrow. We'll talk more about gold and silver tomorrow, you know, in the Sunday live. In the Sunday live, for sure. MXC's up 6.7%, and I just even bought more MXC. That's so funny. As you guys know, I talked about it in the earlier live. It kept going down, so I think I'm up to like 2.7 or 2.8 million tokens now. But yeah, that's what was my expectation yesterday, if it had this quick burst up, but it hasn't finished anything yet. So I don't know if this is actually going to be the swing yet. But you can see how it came all the way up to like 126, and now it's just reversed way back down. But it's what it needs to do in this candle, so this is what we want to see. But we'll see if it continues. We'll see if it continues. Have a blessed day, everybody. I'm gonna go get the barbecue started. I gotta start cooking dinner.